While I was never athletic enough or patient enough to actually learn how to skateboard, I always had a good imagination when I was a kid, so I would just sometimes sit in the driveway on a skateboard and pretend I was Tony Hawk or some shit. But what I lacked in skill on an actual skateboard, I more than made up with my tech deck skills. Do you guys remember those? They were like these little fingerboards you could buy at Walmart. I'm sure they're still around. Anyways, I used to pull up to the mall and be like, "Hey, yo, girl, check this out." And she'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so wet." Okay, fine, maybe that never happened. Anyways, Deficit Games released a banger title for the PSVR2 earlier this month that combined my fantasy of being a skilled skateboarder and my love for tech decks into an awesome game that I want to talk to you guys about. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get to it. When I first saw the trailer for VR Skater, while I was for sure curious, I had very low expectations for it. I really couldn't see how using hand movements would ever be able to simulate actual skateboarding in a headset, but I can't believe how incredibly wrong I was about that. The effort and out-of-box thinking that Deficit Games puts into these mechanics all around is honestly nothing short of genius. While I do agree with the sentiments of a lot of people I've seen online that the game has a deep learning curve, I do think how deep that curve is might be a tad exaggerated. At the end of the day, what you put in is what you get, as is with all things, and I think the turnoff for some might be that this is definitely not a game you can just drop into and magically are able to perform well. It took me roughly 45 minutes of practicing the various tutorials for me to finally feel comfortable doing my first street run. But the evidence that I saw of me getting better and better at a very steady pace made it extremely easy to want to keep playing. And keep playing I did. Altogether, there are 7 maps in total for you to master, each having 4 different game types, if you will. The first is spot challenges, where you'll have to attempt high scores on singular sections of a full map. Street runs, which consist of a full map run from start to finish. You'll be able to bail out on these, and this is graded on a cumulative score. Best trick, which gives you the entire map to play with, but only your first 5 tricks will count toward the required score, which is a really cool opportunity to master chaining tricks and locating where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. And last but not least, sudden death, which is exactly how it sounds. Skate until you can't skate no more, basically. All of these modes, while not extremely varied, were so much fun, and were absolutely pivotal in building up my knowledge of a course to eventually feel like it was mastered. If you're into chasing trophies like I am, I'm glad to say that the platinum is very attainable. I'd give the difficulty between a 6 and a 7, with the full platinum for me taking about 9 hours according to my game time on the home screen. I will say though that the final tutorial was very confusing for me at first, as well as some of the advanced challenges, so if you're interested in me making a tutorial video myself, just let me know in the comments. I will say though that the last 2 trophies for grinding 10 miles felt unnecessarily long because it took me like 3 hours of only focusing on grinding, which, as I'm sure you can guess, was an utter snooze fest. All in all though, I really enjoyed my time with VR Skater. I'm still processing where it is on my top 10 list so far, but I would say it's gotta be in the top 5 PSVR2 games that I've played, hands down. From the great soundtrack, the incredible feeling of achievement the game gives you when pulling off tricks, the beautiful graphics, fun to master maps, and even the little things like your board getting scuffed up when grinding, there's just so much to gush about this game. While you will have to deal with some performance issues, especially after long gaming sessions, and like I said earlier, hard to understand tutorials that could have made the onboarding experience better, the minor frustrations that come along with a game like this are easily forgotten about in the bigger picture. And I'm so excited to see what the future holds for this title. I'm giving VR Skater an 8.5, take it or leave it. Thanks for watching.